So I'm here in Quetzaltenango is what it's called on the map, but everyone here calls it Shela. This is in Guatemala, and I'm just sitting outside the Central Park where I'm told people used to always gather, especially today's Sunday. People used to gather and talk and meet and have a little walk around as a central hub of the city, and it's all police taped off because you're not allowed in there for your health. But if you look across the road, McDonald's is open, but the park is closed, and that is for your health. All right. The funny thing about this is that not only is this park closed, there's one about a mile away, 2 miles away, where the market is and where everybody gathers to sell things outside, and that they've just refused to have that park shut. So we've got the irony of one park being closed here, another park being open a mile away, and McDonald's being open just right across the street for your health. They're shutting the gyms. Another thing we've got happening here is they've got curfews. They had a curfew from 10 p.m. They've just reduced the curfew to 8 p.m. So people have got to be at home at 8 p.m. otherwise can get trouble from the police. And it hasn't even, apparently not even been made law by the Congress here. The president said it and they just all obeyed. Everyone here is 100% compliant. Even little children wear masks. I'm just looking around to see if I can get any on camera, but just the smallest children wearing masks. Obviously not all the children, but a great many of them. I'd say 100% adults. They look at you funny. So if you're not wearing one, really, you're the very, very unusual. So I travelled through Mexico for 2 weeks. Had a lot of help from my brothers, one of whom lives here, and it's led me to believe, because we heard all kind of things about how Mexico was free and they were rejecting the mandates. And I think a mandate was passed about the 24th of July, just before we set off, in Mexico, for mask wearing and maybe a curfew as well. There was a lot of people wearing masks outside there in the places where we went to. It's made me think that if you're anywhere where there is any kind of resistance, any kind of unrest or demonstrations or upheaval about this, about these coronavirus restrictions, you can't underestimate the importance of that. Those places seem to me to be the last standing battles against the tyranny, like the last rebels. The rebellion is not going to come from Guatemala, it's not going to come from Mexico, it's not going to come from China. As far as I can see, I don't know much about China, but there's a lot of countries which we have the perception that they're much more controlled. Where there is the a sense of the individual rights and individual freedoms and bodily autonomy, where that's still existent, those places are where the only places where the rebellion is going to come from. And the UK is one of them. Parts of the United States, it looks like France is that, where people are out on the streets, maybe Italy, but it's also the places where these tyrannical measures are designed to crush. They have to work harder in those countries. They have to propagandize you more. They have to scare you more. They have to terrify you more, because there is a culture of individual rights. There is not a culture of military rule. There's not a culture of military on the streets. There's not a culture of having a police state. And they are working very hard to change that in the minds of the public. And they've been working hard for 18 months. And the only way they can get to you, or the best way they can get to you, is to make you scared for your children, and make you scared for your families. I can't say too much more about what I think is going to come there, because this video will get censored. But in the winter, when the deaths and cases go up, look for a reason for that didn't happen last year. Why is that happening? And what unusual measures have taken place since December of last year that might lead to unusual medical measures that might lead to people getting unusually ill and maybe even dying in the coming winter in the Northern Hemisphere. Take care.